Shalom, Israel, family and friends. This is Judah. The Most High's laws are perfect. I would like to take this approach in an attempt to prove beyond any shadow of doubt that there was never any need for another book or a new book, as the Most High's original laws were perfect. So how do you improve perfection? I took the liberty to investigate the definition of perfection. The action or process of improving something until it is faultless or flawless in a way that could not be better, perfectly. So here's a few adjectives that describes the word perfect. Having all the required or desirable elements, qualities, or characteristics as good as it is possible to be. Here are some of the words: without fault, faultless, flawless, ultimate, superb, exquisite, excellent, magnificent, unrivaled, unequaled, matchless, unparalleled, beyond compare, without equal, second to none, incomparable, unexcelled, unsurpassed or unsurpassable, heavenly, divine, brilliant, indefectible, absolute, complete, and total. Make something completely free from faults or defects. Make as good as possible. All of these definitions describe the Torah, the laws, the book of the law. It is perfection within itself. If the Creator's laws are perfect, then how could another book improve what is already perfect? So let's examine a few scriptures that further proves this declaration. Psalms 92:15. To declare that the Most High is upright. He is my rock, and there is no unrighteousness in him. Deuteronomy 32:4. The rock, his work is perfect, for all his ways are just, a good in faithfulness and without injustice. Righteous and upright is he. 2 Samuel 22:31. As for the Most High, his way is blameless. The word of the Most High is tested. He is a shield to all who take refuge in him. Psalms 18:30. As for the Most High, his way is blameless. The word of the Most High is tried. He is a shield to all who take refuge in him. So as we can see, 2 Samuel and Psalms both confirms saying the same thing. That's confirmation that his book, his law, the book of the law, is perfect. There is no need for improvement. It cannot be improved upon. It is climaxed as the evidence and the fact within itself proof. Psalms 19:7-11. The law of the Most High is perfect, restoring the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The precepts of the Most High are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Most High is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Most High is clean, enduring forever. That's permanent. Permanent means that's all that's needed. That's all that's necessary. The Most High is not a father or creator with limits. If there was any need for another book, I'm sure he would have let us know that. The judgments of the Most High are true. They are righteous altogether. So what is the official book of Israel? The Torah starts from the beginning of God's creating the world, through the beginnings of the people of Israel, their descent into Egypt, and the giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai. Now, think about this. If the Most High had any need for another book, I believe it would have been given at the same time the Torah was given at Mount Sinai. The fact that he didn't give any other reference to any other book is complete proof there was no need. So where did these books, the new book, New Testament, to be more precise, the author of fables are fictionary books, story tales, fairy tales, anything but truth. Let's look at Baruch chapter 3, verse 23. The Origines that seek wisdom upon earth, the merchants of Moran and of Theman, the authors of fables. The Most High is warning us right here about this up and coming new book. We just have to be able to read between the lines. I can't explain why the Most High put it in these terms, but what I can tell you is that this was a warning. He's telling you right here, there are authors out there that write fables, stories, fictions, in order to deceive his people. The authors of fables and searchers out of understandings, none of these have known the way of wisdom or remember her paths. That is a warning that most Christians, or for the most part, most of our people, fail to realize or understand what is happening in Baruch 3 and 23. That was a warning. The Torah warned us about the New Testament. Lucifer swore a vow to destroy Israel. That was in the book of Esther. In the book of Esther, we have an example of the attempted destruction of the entire nation. A decree went out to destroy all the Jews. This is the order decreed by Lucifer. First, he wanted to destroy the human race, or what they consider the human race. You see, there are humans on this planet, and then there are those who look and appear to be human that are not. But Lucifer was going to get rid of all of them just to make sure his mission was accomplished. That didn't work. So, his second attempt, destroy the nation of Israel. That didn't work. So next, destroy the promised line, the genealogy. When the Most High created humanity, he made them according to his image and likeness. Adam and Eve were created perfectly. and placed in a perfect environment. Yet Lucifer tempted them to sin, and they gave in to the temptation. The race that was created perfect would now have to be judged. Sin continued to have its way. Lucifer attempted to corrupt the human race, the line of Adam, to the point where the Most High would destroy everything that he had made. It almost came to that. So what was Lucifer's plan? Then were the king's scribes called in the first month on the 13th day thereof. And there was written according to all that Haman commanded unto the king's satraps, and to the governors that were over every province, and to the princes of every people, to every province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language. In the name of King Ahasuerus was it written, and it was sealed with the king's ring. And letters were sent by post into all the king's provinces to destroy, to slay, and to cause to perish all the Jews, both young and old, little children and women, in one day, even upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar, and to take the spoil of them for a prey. A copy of the writing that the decree should be given out in every province was published unto all the peoples, that they should be ready against that day. Esther, chapter 3, verse 12 through 14. Lucifer has tried to destroy the work of the Most High in the world today and continues to try and lead us astray through other books, namely this new book called the New Testament. But there is no stopping perfection. Remember, perfection cannot be improved on. It cannot be overtaken by some other aspect of a different form of truth. The perfect Torah is the medium through which the One, the Most High, unique Creator, makes himself known. This means only one God, one book, one law. No room for improvement. So is the Most High's laws perfect? Let's listen to what David said. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making the wise the simple. Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the Creator, and the law that endures forever. Not temporary. If there was a new book that was approved and authorized by the Most High, trust me, it would suggest that the Most High was not perfect because he forgot to mention some things, or he was not able to complete his mission on his own. So he recruited help from another source, mainly speaking, Jesus Christ. I can't imagine the Most High being too old to complete his work or too incompetent to fulfill his mission, or even too tired to bring forth everything that he speaks. I can't imagine that. But a new book would suggest these very things. It would suggest that he was not able to do these things on his own and he needed help. That's what it would suggest. But if the law of the Torah is perfect, it simply means there was nothing else needed to be added. Everything he needed was put in that book. So there is no need for a new book that would suggest the old book is outdated. The Most High says his Torah is eternal. Eternal is forever. So it brings me back to the point at Mount Sinai. How did he forget to add this other book if it was authentic? Obviously, this book had nothing to do with Israel nor the Most High. The writers of that new book are other nations. He would not have recruited other nations that he told us to be separate from, not to mingle with, and not to follow their traditions. But yet, a lot of our people are doing exactly that. That book was designed to pull you away from the truth. The book that gives you the ability to redeem yourself by coming back to the true one and only Creator. All they that keep it shall come to life. All they that keep it shall come to life. Keep what? The Torah. How come it's not talking about New Testament? These things that he's speaking, he's not saying it word for word, but if you read between the lines, he says you don't need anything else. I've given you everything you need. If you search outside of what I provided for you, you will be led astray. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. I'm pretty sure we're talking spiritual death, blindness to the truth, eyes that are not open, eyes that are spiritually shut. Now let's look at something Jesus said in Galatians chapter 3, verse 27. Now that faith has come, we are no longer under the supervision of law. What does that mean? These people that our people are following in this new book, New Testament, are being told by Jesus, the one they claim came to redeem them. He says, now that faith has come, we are no longer under the supervision of the law. In other words, forget the eternal book of the law and follow me. All I require from you is faith. You don't have to do any works. You don't have to follow any law. You just have to trust me, a God that came newly up, and forget about the book of the law. Y'all see it with your own eyes. You are all sons of the Most High through faith in who? Christ Jesus. Wow. For all of you who are baptized into Christ have clothed yourselves with Christ. Now, according to Jesus, we are to tear off our clean clothes and put on those clothes soaked of filth and transgressions. And Jeremiah says in chapter 10, verse 13, when he uttered his voice, when he spoke, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens, and he causes the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He makes lightnings with rain and bringeth forth the wind out of his treasures. When the Most High speaks, the Most High did not speak in a book called the New Testament. Jesus was the only one speaking, him and his disciples, whom none of us ever knew, neither did our forefathers. None of our forefathers ever mentioned them in prophecy or any future reference. Psalms 19, verse 9 through 11. The Most High's laws are pure and eternal, just. Eternal, just. Eternal is forever. It is never ending. They are more desirable than gold. They are sweeter than honey dripping from a honeycomb. For they warn us away from harm and give success to those who obey them. This clearly is talking about the difference from the New Testament and the Torah. This is the warning. This is the decree from our Creator, the Most High, telling us, I only gave you one book. There is nowhere in the scriptures or in prophecy of a new book. The Christians have mistakenly understood the new covenant that is spoken of as already happened. But we know that that new covenant has not happened because we are still teaching today, and the Most High has not put his laws in our hearts and in our minds. And yes, we still are going to our brothers, teaching them the way of the Creator. And when the new covenant prophesied to come had come, then none of these things would be necessary. Bottom line, you cannot improve perfection. Shalom. Much love, Israel.